on a camera, and surveillance cameras were rolling, capturing another car moving just moments before the collapse. Several towns sent dozens of their emergency personnel to the 10 a.m. collapse of a parking garage under this Hackensack apartment building.
There's a glass enclosure above the lobby area. That came down onto two below-ground parking garage areas.
The portico crashed 3 stories down onto the driveway below, blowing open a 60 by 100-foot crater and pancaking the garage floors. Now it's a race against time to save one person trapped inside a car beneath the rubble, possibly 3 more also below.
Right now we have one visual on one victim. The status of that victim is unknown at this point right now. We are actively in a rescue mode right now to remove that one victim.
Upwards of 300 residents were evacuated after facing several terror-filled moments when they were jolted by the crash at 300 Prospect Avenue.
I went to the gym to go run, and I felt like a rumble. I thought it was coming from above, and the walls kind of shook a little. It sounded like an earthquake.
And we're just afraid how to get out, and my fiance and I grabbed the dog and just ran out. We didn't even take the elevator. We took the stairs. We're on the 6th floor because you didn't know what was going to happen. You thought the whole building might come down.
Rachel Laval escaped the collapsing debris by just minutes as she was driving out of the garage.
What I'm thinking is smoke, thinking, oh my God, there's really a fire this time. And as I stop the car and I look, and as the dust clears, I just see the part of the garage, this part of the ground in front of the lobby is in front of me.
A neighboring building has been evacuated. No driving is permitted for several blocks due to vibration fears, and it could be days before engineers will clear the buildings for residents to safely return.
And I would say at least a night or two to fully remove all the debris out of there. Again, you have to be very careful in these types of circumstances because of the secondary collapse.
Now, there has been no official cause given to us for this collapse, but residents have been complaining bitterly for months, they tell us, to building management, saying there has been construction going on in that exact spot in front of the building where this collapse happened, and a buildings department personnel here on the scene said if water had gotten into those holes over a course of months, that could contribute to a possible collapse. We are live in Hackensack. I'm Kirsten Cole, CBS 2 News.
An active situation. Thank you, Kirsten. We have an aerial view showing the real extent of what happened today. The portion that fell flat included almost the entire driveway in front of the building. Taking a look at this image from above shows the portico, entrance drive, some parking, and you see the grassy area. This is all what it looked like before the collapse. Now, all of that is feet below street level. Chopper 2 HD arrived on the scene just minutes after the emergency call earlier. Our video, as you can see, shows the broken asphalt with underground supports broken and poking through the surface.
Now, as far as the residents living in the huge building above the garage are concerned, they're not going to be allowed back into their apartments tonight. And CBS 2's Cindy Hsu joins us now live from the scene as well. Cindy?
Well, it's been a mask of confusion for the residents who are being kept away from their homes. Now, the building is right behind these ones, and the families, there are about 250 apartments, and all those families need to find a place to sleep. Kids like 19-month-old Gabriella played with toys on the sidewalk as her dad tried to figure out exactly where they'll be staying.
It's crazy. I don't know how long I'll be out of the house. Oh, it's 100 degrees out, so it's difficult. Tried the best I can. Right, Gabriella?
Irene Casapola was frantically searching for her sister, who lives in the building and has MS.
She's going to have an episode. When you take her out of her element, she's going to have an episode. She could lose her sight. She could lose more of her mobility.
Police couldn't let her near the building for fear of a secondary collapse. But luckily, hours later, Irene's sister was located.
I've been looking for you for 2 hours, Terry. We found 2 hours. We found her. A nice policeman named Brian, who I'll be forever grateful to, took us around to each building and searched for her, and we found her.
Dennis Parham says he needs his heart and diabetes medicine and a plan for tonight.
Your guess is as good as mine. We obviously are not going to be permitted access until they think that they've done the structural test and see that we can go back in safely.
Now, the Red Cross is here, and recreational rooms in nearby buildings are being opened to residents, but it may be through the weekend that they're going to need to find a place to sleep. In Hackensack, Cindy Hsu, CBS 2 News.
Cindy, thank you. And stay with CBS 2 News for continuing coverage of this underground garage collapse. We'll have much more on the building's inspection record and what may have gone wrong coming up at 6 o'clock.
All over the tri-state area, the streets and sidewalks are sizzling as dangerous heat moves into our area. It's just too hot to roll the dice in Atlantic City, turns out. 2 Trump casinos are closed until the air conditioning systems are restored. And those who couldn't beat the heat hit the beach. Thousands of bathers flocked to the shore to cool off today. We have team coverage. Megan Glaros is at the beach, but we'll start here with Lonnie. He's in the Weather Center. Lonnie?
All right, I'm going to get right to the temperatures because the temperatures were the big story today. You're right. The heat was in place. Newark, New Jersey hitting 99 degrees. Toms River 97. LaGuardia, Teterboro, Poughkeepsie all coming in at 94 degrees. Now the city, Central Park, you'll notice not on this list. 92 degrees in Central Park at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But then you factored in the humidity level, 58% relative humidity. Dew points were in the mid-70s. That is just intolerable. 92 plus 58% humidity gave you a feels-like temperature at 1:19 this afternoon in New York City of 103 degrees. Now, I am watching a front getting ready to push through our area. It's bringing some strong storms now north of the city. That will push through during your evening hours tonight. But the heat is still with us tomorrow. It's 94 degrees tomorrow, but the humidity, thanks to that frontal passage, drops down to about 30%, so 94 feels like about 93 tomorrow. I don't know if you want to call that a cooling trend, but it is big-time heat. It's in place not just for tomorrow, but beyond. I'll talk more about that coming up. But, Chris, let's get over to you at the anchor desk.
All right, Lonnie, thank you very much. Now, if you think this year has been hotter than any that you can remember, well, you may be right. And with the thermometer climbing, many people are heading to the beach this weekend to cool down. And CBS 2's Megan Glaros has more on this summer sizzler from the Jersey Shore.
Well, we all know it's been a hot summer so far for the tri-state area, but according to new figures just released by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, it looks like 2010 may be the hottest year on record globally since 1880. Maybe that's why so many people have decided to hit the beach. Today is the start of the 3rd heat wave to hit the tri-state area in a summer season that's not even a month old.
It's no fun. It's like a whole different world, like 5 miles away from here because it's so hot and there's no break in the air. So gotta love this.
People flock to the Jersey Shore in weather like this to enjoy the summer heat. The cool water providing relief from the scorching sand. Since the beach is one of the only places to find heat relief, there's been a huge influx of people.
I think it's going to bring a lot of people to the beach, which is going to generate some really good revenue for the business owners. Win-win.
For merchants along the Jersey Shore, these temperatures just mean their business is heating up.
Our servers are making money, the customers are happy, the restaurants, it's one of our best summers. Customers just keep coming in, the weather, the beaches have been packed, we'll take it.
So for beachgoers and beach businesses alike, heat wave number 3 is more than just fun in the sun. And while the beach may be the place to be this weekend, be careful in the water. There's a risk of rip currents at all area beaches through the end of the weekend. In Ocean Grove and in the water, Megan Glaros, CBS 2 News.
Got to stay cool with all that fist pumping. Con Edison is asking people to conserve energy during the heat wave. The utility is reminding everyone to turn off air conditioners when leaving home and set thermometers to about 78 degrees.
It's a hot ticket for tonight's Yankees game as the Bronx Bombers and their fans pay tribute to the boss, George Steinbrenner, and to the voice of God, Bob Shepard. CBS 2's Otis Livingston live at Yankee Stadium. Otis?
Hey, Dana, there shouldn't be a dry eye in the house that George built as the Yankees and their fans pay tribute to the boss, George Steinbrenner, and longtime PA announcer Bob Shepard. Plenty of wreaths were placed around George Steinbrenner's statue in the executive lobby inside Yankee Stadium. And also some wreaths will be placed on Bob Shepard's plaque inside Monument Park. Now, as far as the uniforms go, the Yankees will wear black armbands and a special GMS George M. Steinbrenner patch above the interlocking NY on their jersey. A patch with a microphone on a baseball diamond in honor of Bob Shepard will be worn on their left sleeve. Shepard was the voice of the Yankees for nearly 60 years. And it's my pleasure to be joined right now by Yankee longtime starting pitcher Andy Pettitte. Andy, you've known both of these guys for a long time. What makes them so special?
Well, you know, for obviously Mr. Shepard, just his voice, you know, just the way it just sounded throughout old Yankee Stadium, and just when you think back of all people he's announced, all the great things he's seen, all the great names, just unbelievable. And then just Mr. Steinbrenner, just his will to win. But not only that, just he was a great man. I mean, he was just so great to me, to my family, just so supportive. I mean, he was a good friend and obviously the boss.
And how emotional do you think it's going to be in this place tonight, not only for the fans, but in particular for you guys as players?
It'll be emotional, obviously for me, because it was a friend. I mean, a man that you could talk to, that I built up a relationship with over a lot of years and a lot of time. And he brought me back. When I went to Houston, he brought me back here and to try to help this organization win a championship. So it's going to be emotional for me. It's been hard, you know, when you think back to the memories of everything and remembering him. And then obviously for the fans, when you look around this place, now you're going to think of him. This was his vision. This is what he wanted. He built this, and the fans have been coming, and it's going to be an emotional night for sure.
All right, thank you a lot, Andy Pettit, for stopping through. He's about to head to the locker room, and he stopped by and talked to us, so thank you so much. Of course, we'll have much more on what should be a very emotional night here at Yankee Stadium coming up later on at 6 o'clock. But for now, reporting live from Yankee Stadium, Otis Livingston, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Otis. Crime-fighting tool or invasion of privacy. New York Governor David Paterson puts an end to the practice of police keeping tabs on people who have done nothing wrong, a move that has many critics outraged, including Mayor Bloomberg. Here's political reporter Marcia Kramer.
It's degrading.
Jesus Gonzalez is a statistic, one of over 500,000 innocent people, mainly black and Hispanic, who were stopped by police last year because they looked suspicious. Jesus has been stopped on the streets of Bushwick so many times he can't remember the exact number, but what he will never forget is the fear of being handcuffed for no reason.
The last time I was stopped in first, the officer was asking me why am I shaking, and I told her I was scared. She's asking me why am I shaking, and it wasn't out of concern. It was more like, I know you're guilty.
Today, Governor Paterson signed a controversial bill that will force the NYPD to purge its database of the names, addresses, and personal information of all those stopped and frisked by cops but not charged with anything.
The reality is that just the warehousing of the personal data of innocent people makes a mockery of our Constitution, and it stops now.
Police Commissioner Ray Kelly fought bitterly against the bill. The police commissioner says that residents here in Bushwick and other neighborhoods will be less safe, that some killers and criminals just won't be caught, and they'll be free to threaten people.
The people that are going to lose are the victims. Kelly has a list of 200 crimes where we solved the crime and kept those people from committing more crimes because of the data.
So how does that feel, to be stopped by the police when you know you haven't done anything wrong?
You know, you feel like a criminal, you know? You feel maybe the cops make you feel bad.
The governor's bill does not eliminate the stop and frisk program, just a database of those not charged. In Bushwick, I'm Marcia Kramer, CBS 2 News.
Senator Eric Adams, a former police officer and the bill's sponsor, predicts it will cut the number of stop and frisks in half.
There are more signs BP's latest attempt to end the disaster in the Gulf is working. The Coast Guard says the results are not ideal, but the newly installed cap on the broken underwater well is holding steady. Yesterday, the oil well's valves were shut down to trap the oil inside the cap. BP says pressure is still rising inside the tight-fitting cap, and that's a good sign that oil is not leaking elsewhere. If needed, workers could funnel some of the oil out to relieve the pressure. Now, current tests could last up to 48 hours.
Disappointing consumer data and lower than expected bank earnings drove stocks down at closing this week. A survey from the University of Michigan shows consumer confidence plummeted in July to the lowest level in about a year. The numbers for today: the Dow lost 261 points, finishing at 10,097 points. The Nasdaq shed 70. The S&P 500 slipped 30.
His patients trusted him, but a Long Island doctor is now behind bars after police say he confessed to videotaping in touching some of his youngest patients.
I want to say that I love them and I have never stopped thinking about them.
A mother's desperate search for her two sons, kidnapped 2 years ago, how she's still being tortured by phone calls. And Call It Antennagate, iPhone finally answers the call with a free fix for customers.
When news breaks, Chopper 2 is your eye in the sky, bringing you closer to the action, the drama, the real story.
We have breaking news, and Chopper 2 is over the scene right now.
Chopper 2 with a high-definition zoom camera, a gyro stabilizer, and pinpoint mapping intelligence to find and track wherever news breaks. Chopper 2. Only on CBS 2, your eye in Sky.
Now is the time to get out there. Because at Jeep, we pledge to give you adventure. We pledge to show you more. We pledge to bring freedom within reach. And with our Pledge Plus program, we'll make your payments for 60 days when you finance a 2010 Liberty, Compass, or Patriot. And if you change your mind, then we'll take it back. Now lease a rugged 2010 Jeep Wrangler Sport for just $259 a month for well-qualified lessees. I live, I ride, I am. Jeep.
I'll make a brand new start.
Come Fly Away, Broadway's new smash hit musical. Dance by Twyla Tharp, vocals by Frank Sinatra.
Make it there, I'll make it anywhere.
Time magazine calls it the purest jolt of pleasure to be found on a Broadway stage. The one show in New York City you cannot miss. Come Fly Away. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
Papa's in the house.
Now, create your own Papa John's pizza for just $10. All pizzas, even our signature specialties, just $10. Order now at papajohns.com and get all large Papa John's pizzas for just $10 each.
Attention furniture shoppers. The Lazy Boy inventory overstock sell-off is going on now. $5 million of factory direct overstocks will be sold at rock bottom prices. On now, only at the Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Don't miss it.
When your eyes are smiling, you're smiling. And when they're laughing, you're laughing. Be kind to your eyes with Transitions lenses. Transitions adapt to changing light, so you see your whole day comfortably and conveniently while protecting your eyes from the sun. Ask your eye care professional which Transitions lenses are right for you.
Here at the Ford Model Year-End Sales Event, everybody's got a story. Take Dan, for instance. When it comes to Fusion, Dan's a bit of a know-it-all, in a good way. Dan knows all about the great mileage and all the fancy awards, but here's something he just found out. The 2010 Fusion is projected to hold its value better than the 2010 Camry. What do you know, Dan? Learn something new every day.
Get to the Ford Model Year-End Sales Event and lease a Fusion for just $189 a month for 24 months. Just $189 a month.
Now it's official. Dan really does know it all.
Next at 6, a new terror report. New York a target again? Why the failed Christmas Day bomber over Detroit may not have been the only planned attack. Then, city parking rules changed. Now New Yorkers seeing red. Next at 6.
It was a desperate act of love. 2 teenagers from El Salvador wanting to reunite with their mother in New Jersey.
But the FBI says something terrible happened. They were abducted by ruthless smugglers, and CBS 2's Christine Sloan has this exclusive story.
Él es Samuel. This is Samuel. Él es Oscar. This is Oscar.
Rosa Zavala has been on a desperate search for her missing teenage sons who ran away from their aunt's home in El Salvador, hoping to find her in New Jersey.
Sometimes, yes, they would tell me that they miss me. And the nicest thing is that we will be reunited and that we will be a happy family.
The 35-year-old Dunellen mother tells us through a translator her children were inspired by this movie called Under the Same Moon to come here.
Ticket to Los Angeles. I'm going to see my mom.
But federal authorities say the boys were kidnapped by a group that smuggles illegal aliens at the borders known as coyotes.
I want people to know and understand that when they're dealing with these coyotes, they are a ruthless group, okay, that are only out for money, and that, you know, bad things could happen.
Each year, coyotes are responsible for dozens of abductions. Zavala, who came here on a work visa so she could give her sons a better life back home, says she had no idea the boys were taking extreme measures.
Y que por favor me los regresen si los tienen. And if they have them, to please return them to me.
It was a year after they disappeared when she got a call from a man who demanded money for their safe return. She wired him her life savings from this Western Union.
De pensar en ellos todos los días. I want to say that I love them and I have never stopped thinking about them.
After the 2 wires, the man told Zavala he had the children here at the Dunellen train station and that he wanted more money. When she told him she didn't have any more, he told her to find it or she'd never see the children again.
And then all telephone contact stopped with these individuals.
Yes, because they're the most sacred thing.
Authorities Authorities don't believe the children ever made it to the United States, but they're hoping someone can help them with information since they've been able to link this case to another one on Long Island. In Dunellen, New Jersey, Christine Sloan, CBS 2 News.
We tried to obtain exact statistics on how many children were kidnapped by coyotes, but federal authorities say they don't have exact figures because most of the victimized families are here illegally. In many cases, are not even reported.
Very difficult. Let's take a look at the weather. Lonnie Quinn back with his exclusive forecast from CBS 2 with his eyes on the heat wave.
Yeah, we will all have our eyes on the heat wave because it started today. It's going to continue right through the weekend. Let me get you outside, show you what it looks like. There's your current picture. That's high atop the Empire State Building, looking out over our fair, hot city. Skies overhead not looking too shabby. Now, granted, we did have some leading showers and even a couple of storms that pushed through the area. Your current reading, 92 degrees. Skies overhead. We'll take a look right there. It's a sun and cloud mix in the city. The weather picture looks like this. Heat wave number 3. It began in earnest today. Is it the hottest July ever? Well, right now, that distinction goes to July of 1966, where the average afternoon high temperature was 90.3. So far today, when you factor in our 92-degree reading, we are now at 89.8, and we're going to add to that as we go through the weekend. Look at the temperatures go up and up and up. Wednesday, can you believe it? We were 79 degrees. Well, today, 92. Tomorrow, we see 94. Sunday, 93. There's a little bit of difference, though, when we start talking about the humidity levels. Now, today, it was way up there. Consequently, a heat advisory in effect. It stays in effect until tomorrow at 6 p.m., and I'm willing to bet you that's probably going to be extended right through your entire weekend. Current readings outside, and I'm talking heat indexes. 92 degrees in Central Park, but it feels like 97. When you were at around 1 o'clock this afternoon, that 97 feels like temperature was actually 103 degrees. Let me show you how we see it here as you look at the 5-day forecast. 94 degrees tomorrow. We're 93 on Sunday, 93 Monday. I see a rain chance that's going to be kicking in tomorrow night. We've also got a rain chance tonight, but basically the daytime hour tomorrow is a beach day. It's a beach day Sunday as well. Got to be careful with the rip currents out there. Monday, the heat wave continues at 93, but we start talking again about some stray showers kicking in. Also, same thing for Tuesday.
I'd say I had the luxury of being outside a little while ago. I didn't think it was that bad.
You enjoyed that, did you?
He's been complaining the whole time.
Then again, he loves to just hang out in the steam room.
God, it's awful. Thank you, Lonnie.
Go ahead. Play chicken. Local residents build a mini farm in the backyard. Meet one man who could soon be a millionaire and says you could do it too. Also, seriously soar. A high-flying stunt falls flat, landing singer Pink in an ambulance.
Babies, they're not just sleeping, they're learning too. Amazing new information. CBS 2 with how much sleeping newborns are actually picking up and how this could help detect learning problems in kids. Just ahead.
From Jennifer, a bonded leather chaise sectional for an amazing $6.99, plus a free cocktail ottoman, $6.99. No one else offers this kind of value, only Jennifer. You don't have to spend a lot to have good taste.
One word to describe this car would be reliable. Dependable.
Phenomenal. This truck is tough.
It's durable. Dependable. Feisty.
I gotta stay with dependability.
I'd say sturdy.
While the quality of a Toyota may last, the amazing deals and great selection won't during Toyota's National Clearance Event. And right now, you can lease a new 2010 RAV4 for just $189 a month. Or choose the new 2010 Toyota Highlander and get a $259 a month lease. Toyota, quality to move you forward.
Oh, how Fios takes your HD higher. To a 100% fiber optic picture. To more HD channels than cable. It's also the ultimate on-demand HD movie experience with the Movie Poster Gallery. And the ability to search your HD titles by content or actor, not just title. By changing that old cable technology, your HD TV can finally reach its lofty potential. It's time for Fios. Visit Verizon.com/Fios.
So what do you think?
We need his experience.
Yeah, but he has more energy.
Now you can get the best of both. Try Touch of Gray. Combs away a little gray without getting rid of it all.
I've got big plans for you.
Touch of Gray.
Aching for steak and bacon? Try the Subway Steak and Bacon Melt and build your better breakfast with the new Steak and Bacon Muffin Melt with, oh yeah, bacon. Crank up the flavor at Subway.
Right now at the Dodge 10 event, when you buy a new Charger, Journey, or Grand Caravan, Dodge will give you 60 days to decide if you want to keep it. They'll even cover your payments. This event could not be more amazing. Oh, wait, there's a monkey. I stand corrected.
Or in lieu of 60-day offers, get 0% APR financing for 60 months plus $500 bonus cash on Grand Caravan.
Be bold. Bet the house on red. I'm just saying. You know how dumb that sounds coming from a Vegas lawyer?
Pretend you're a professional.
Don't be stupid.
One more word and you're fine.
Find me. I'm not going to make you a better judge.
Old enough for you?
Would you look at that, Nicky? We're huge. The Defenders!
Are you sick of being pulled over by the police? It's one of the gripes that New Yorkers are getting off their chests tonight.
Tonight, you can watch them mouth off to Montone. John Montone of our radio partner 1010 Wins.
Got a gripe? Want to be heard? Then it's time to mouth off to Montone.
The mouth was on scene as a police officer pulled over this van because the guy in the middle seat wasn't buckled up. And now Charlie's steaming.
Because he got to pay now $100 and something ticket. But it's all right for the cops to do it and they get away with it. But when we do something, it's a problem.
Jolson, like Al. Scott Jolson from Midwood turned this newsman into a blues man.
Nothing's good, man. I got rejected from the police department. My bike broke on me yesterday. Almost killed myself and got hit by a car. So, you know, it's a good week so far.
To the mouth mail. Steve from Manhattan writes to the mouth that cabbies have no regard for the rules of the road. Come on, cabbies? In her mouth mail, Jessica from the Bronx writes that she called 311 to complain about low water pressure. A recorded voice said,
"Hang on, we'll be right with you."
20 minutes later, the recorded voice came back and said,
"Call back tomorrow."
Doesn't that feel better? For CBS2, I'm John Montone, 1010 Wins News.
Mouth Off to Montone is a regular segment on Eye on New York, which airs Sundays on CBS2 at 6:30 a.m. And if you have something you'd like to tell him, just go to our website. There's a link on WCBS-TV.com, the homepage, where you can send John your complaint. Chris?
Dr. Shock on Long Island. Coming up, a Long Island pediatrician accused of a despicable crime, videotaping his young patients without their clothes. Plus, crowds for George Clooney as the actor heads to court to testify in a fraud case. Details straight ahead.
Babies may look like they don't have a care in the world when they're sleeping, but that's not the case. I'm Dr. Holly Phillips, and coming up, I'll show you how they're hard at work learning.
Donate your junk? Don't just throw it all away. We'll show you how you can turn your personal garbage into dollars. And that's not all. You'll be helping others while making money. Clean out and cash in. Tonight on CBS2 News at 11.
Thinking about your Florida vacation and about what's happening in the Gulf? Well, Florida has 825 miles of beaches and 1,260 miles of coastline. So there's plenty of places in Florida to enjoy crystal clear waters and a great beach vacation. Go to Florida Live and visit Florida.com for real-time information.
Luxury at a price that feels very comfortable. Book a Greater Fort Lauderdale vacation now.
For 10 points, name something truly awful.
Microwave pizza. Awful.
Microwave pizza used to be bad.
But now there's Red Baron Pizza by the Slice. With a pizzeria-style fire-baked crust, it's unbelievably good pizza from the microwave.
For 10 points, name something awesome.
Red Baron Pizza by the Slice. Bring home that pizzeria taste.
Perfection, not an easy term to define. In an automobile manufacturer, it's Mercedes-Benz. In an automobile dealership, it's Mercedes-Benz of Morristown. From the moment you arrive, you'll realize this is the ideal place to join the Mercedes-Benz family. With creative and progressive lease and purchasing plans and an inventory of over 300 new vehicles to choose from. Mercedes-Benz of Morristown, the pinnacle of luxury automotive dealerships. 34 Ridgedale Avenue, Morristown, New Jersey, exit 36 off of Route 287 South. Call us at 888-THE-BENZ.
We're pretty good about cutting down on our bills. What? Hi, honey. Lights out.
But to save even more money, we went to Lowe's.
I told them an Energy Star washer would save about $500 a lifetime, and a WaterSense toilet can save up to $90 a year.
Plus, Lowe's is the only retailer to win the EPA's highest award from Energy Star and WaterSense.
They're trying to embarrass me.
No!
Oh, come on.
Experience. Lowe's. Let's build something together. Get free next day appliance, local delivery, and haul-away any day of the week.
Ever seen anything like it? Me neither. It's new Beneful Incredibites. It's just the way you like it. Made with wholesome grains, real beef, even carrots and peas. You love the smaller size, easy to chew kibbles. And I love the carbohydrates for energy and protein for muscles. Wait for me. You only think you're getting spoiled.
New Beneful Incredibites. Another healthful, flavorful Beneful.
You're watching CBS 2 News in high definition.
Right now at 5:30, a Long Island pediatrician admits to sickening illegal behavior, videotaping, and sometimes touching underage patients.
A fix and a refund. How you can avoid the iPhone death grip and even get a little money back.
That's pretty amazing.
Zeroing in on your baby's brain power. A new way to find out if your newborn is a genius.
Good evening, I'm Dana Tyler.
Welcome back to the broadcast.
They all say that, parents, right?
They're all in the 99th percentile. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Chris Wragge. Topping our news here at 5:30, a serious topic. A pediatrician on Long Island accused of a horrifying betrayal of trust.
Police say he admitted to secretly videotaping and violating young female patients, and prosecutors say that's just the beginning. CBS 2's Catherine Brown reports from Bethpage.
Nassau County prosecutors say this pediatrician, Dr. Rakesh Pun, took advantage of his most vulnerable patients in the worst possible way.
It's wrong on so many levels.
Acting on a tip, police raided the Bethpage doctor's home office and uncovered at least 5 videotaped incidents where female patients ages 11 to 24 were naked, blindfolded, and being fondled by Pun under the pretense of a medical exam.
He has them blindfolded, laying on the examination table, and then his hand moving a camera to zoom in on their private areas.
Investigators also believe Pun may have drugged his victims. After his arrest, prosecutors say he broke down and, in a 10-page confession, admitted to secretly recording and sexually violating at least 9 patients for his own pleasure. This woman tells us Dr. Pun has treated her on a number of occasions. I'm in shock. Pun is what's known as a civil surgeon, meaning he's authorized to give medical exams to immigrants applying for citizenship here. Prosecutors say many of his patients were unfamiliar with medical practices in the U.S., and they believe he preyed on their innocence. Pun's attorney says his client did nothing wrong and, despite the confession, plans to fight the charges and the evidence behind them.
I'd like to see under what circumstances they were made, if made. I'd like to see, before I acknowledge that there's tapes, I want to see them. And I want to understand how they were made, under what circumstances they were made, how they were secured, how they were seized.
Prosecutors believe there may be many more victims, and they're urging anyone who was ever a patient here to come forward. Reporting in Bethpage, Catherine Brown, CBS 2 News.
Investigators say the incidents go back as far as 3 years. Dr. Pun is charged with 5 felonies and is currently being held on bail.
A fire in the Bronx has left 2 children in the hospital. The fire on Franklin Avenue in the Morsania section started in a 4th-floor bedroom. Investigators say a 5-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl suffered smoke inhalation and were taken to Jacoby Medical Center in serious condition. A cat was also given oxygen at the scene and is expected to be just fine. A Queens man has been remanded without bail, charged with setting a fire that killed his pregnant girlfriend and her young son. Firefighters found 25-year-old Linda Anderson dead inside her home in Springfield Gardens early on Tuesday. Her 2-year-old son died a short time later at the hospital. Prosecutors say 23-year-old Jimmy Humphrey admitted pushing Anderson down and knocking a bottle of nail polish remover onto a candle, which set the fire.
Tonight, the driver of the car filled with camp counselors that crashed on Long Island yesterday is out of the hospital. And today, those who knew the 3 counselors who did not survive are struggling to cope with the loss. CBS 2's McGee Hickey has more from Lido Beach.
The 3 young people who died had worked at Camp Anchor for the last 8 or 9 summers, almost half of their young lives. So the grief counselors who were brought in were working not only with the campers, but also with staff members and the camp director himself. The camp director says out of his 480 staff members who work with special needs children, Jamie Malone, her sister Paige, and Michael Mulhall were the best of the best.
Jamie, I considered one of our
expert staffs working with autism. Paige was just an adorable, wonderful, outstanding staff member, a great aide.
Michael and Jamie were planning to become special needs teachers. The Hempstead Town Supervisor met with the other staffers this morning.
You could tell etched on the face is such hurt and such misery. But I also saw all those counselors, those wonderful young people, nodding their heads and saying they were going to do their job today because they know that's what Michael and Jamie and Paige would want them to do.
In the village of Floral Park, many remarked on the strength of two grieving families, particularly Jim Malone, who spoke so bravely through his pain.
There just are no words to say how devastated my son and my wife and my daughter are.
As the state police investigation continues into the cause of this one-car crash, the driver of the 2010 Honda Civic, Justine Mulhall, and the one surviving passenger, Kelly Murphy, are still hospitalized, with the driver perhaps being released today. The director of Camp Anchor is setting up a scholarship fund in the names of the 3 young people who died to encourage other young people to go into the field of helping the disabled. From Lido Beach, McGee Hickey, CBS 2 News.
All 3 crash victims will be laid to rest next week. Funerals for Jamie and Paige Malone will be held Monday. A funeral mass for Michael Mulhall is scheduled for Tuesday.
A Dix Hills mother is arrested accused of driving drunk with her 2-year-old child in the car. Police say 35-year-old Alicia Hayes was pulled over early this morning after someone called 911 saying she was driving drunk. The child was not injured, and placed in the custody of the father. Under the newly enacted Leandra's Law, Hayes is charged with aggravated driving while intoxicated and endangering the welfare of a child.
Time to see what's coming up on our news at 6 o'clock. CBS 2's Don Dahler live in the newsroom with a preview. Don?
Hi, Dana. Coming up tonight at 6, we're following a developing story. The failed Christmas Day bombing in Detroit may not have been the only attack planned for the 2009 holiday. New information about a possible New York plot. Then a routine traffic stop explodes into a frenetic life or death struggle in Albany. The unbelievable ending. You don't want to miss that. Those stories and more at 6. Dana, back to you.
See you soon, Don. Finally, a fix for iPhone users.
You know, we're not perfect.
The boss talks about it, Apple takes the blame and comes up with a free fix or a refund. We'll explain, plus this.
It started out as a hobby, now it's grown into an excellent business opportunity. Raising chickens in the backyard for fun and, most importantly, profit.
Excellent, get it? Also, a live look outside from Chopper 2 HD at the aquarium in Coney Island. It's hot out there. But that seal looks like it's having fun. Lonnie will tell us how long it's going to stay that way. We'll be back.
CBS 2 congratulates Dana Tyler for 20 years of New York news. Legendary journalist, New York icon, one of the most recognized women in local television. And we're proud to have her.
You know a place with great food?
I know just the spot. Hold on! We're almost there.
That's right. TGI Fridays has a new Caribbean menu. Get a free $10 Fridays gift card when you buy 2 Caribbean entrees. That's a free $10 gift card just for kicking back and enjoying the fresh flavors and vibrant spices of the islands. Only at Fridays.
My space could sure use a facelift. You know, a nip here, a tuck there, but on a budget.
You can give your home a new look with Raymore and Flanagan's Room for Improvement sale. Find beautiful bedrooms, dining rooms, and living rooms now on sale. No money down, no interest till 2014. Delivery in 3 days or less. Transform your home into a dream home right now. The Room for Improvement sale, only at Raymore and Flanagan.
Over 1,000 people a day switch to Chevrolet. Let's find out why.
This Malibu's sharp, has great mileage, and offers OnStar.
100,000-mile powertrain warranty caught my attention.
It's the Chevrolet Summer Event, which means the only thing left to decide is who drives it home.
Me. Me.
Qualified lessees now get a low-mileage lease on this Malibu LS, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy for around $199 a month. Call for details. The switch begins at ChevyDealer.com.
Asked real people to film themselves taking the Activia 14-day challenge.
Hi, my name is Tony. They say that as you get older, your system gets more sluggish. I'm a skeptic. However, this stuff tastes pretty good. feel really good. Yeah, I like the way I feel. It's not a gimmick. It really, truly works. I highly recommend it to anyone else to take this challenge.
Help regulate your digestive system. Take the Activia Challenge. It works or it's free.
And now I'll turn it over to the Gecko.
Ah, thank you, sir. As we all know, Geico has been saving people money on RV, camper and trailer insurance, as well as motorcycle insurance. Ah, sorry. Technical difficulties.
What about this?
What's this one do? Maybe that one.
Okay, let's keep rolling. We run motorcycle insurance?
Take 15 minutes to see how much you could save on motorcycle, RV, and camper insurance.
News travels fast, so don't be out of the loop. Download the CBS2 iPhone app. Your news at your fingertips, wherever you go. CBS2, we're everywhere. Download now.
Well, Apple says it has a fix for the problems with the new iPhone 4. It's providing a free case that's supposed to cut down on the number of dropped calls. CBS 2's Sandra Hughes live at Apple's headquarters in Cupertino, California with more on these so-called antenna gates. Sandra?
Chris, what Apple's CEO wanted everyone to know today is that they have not been ignoring complaints about Apple's iPhone 4. In fact, what he said is, quote, they've been working their butts off to figure out if there's a problem.
We're not perfect.
Apple's CEO said the problem known as antenna gate has been blown way out of proportion.
There is no antenna gate.
But Steve Jobs agreed to give all buyers a free case for their iPhone 4. It will protect the antenna and cut down dropped calls. Holding the phone with a bare hand appears to interrupt or break the wireless signal.
And that's everything we can do to try to make every customer happy.
Pressure has been growing since Consumer Reports said it would not recommend the iPhone 4. But it hasn't stopped Apple fans from buying 3 million in the past 3 weeks. And Apple says only 0.5% of iPhone 4 buyers have complained.
I've never had any issues with Apple. And if I've ever had any problems, they've always fixed them.
You can tell by the scene outside company headquarters that Apple's got everyone's attention. The company's style is to work in secret, and it's kept consumers in the dark about whether Apple will offer a recall or a fix.
People go out and they buy new technology, they expect it to work, so there should be some sort of compensation to the customer, I think.
The last time Apple addressed the problem was in early July when the flap was just beginning. At that point, it blamed a software flaw. Consumer Reports didn't buy it.
This one should be a recommended model, but we can't if it has this flaw.
Apple's fix needs to satisfy investors, too. Its stock was badly bruised from the iPhone crisis, which helped make this problem just too big to ignore. Now, Consumer Reports that started all this static over iPhone 4 said today that giving away that free bumper is a good first step. In Cupertino, California, Sandra Hughes, CBS 2 News.
The cost of a Rutgers education is going up. In-state students will see a 4% tuition hike, averaging about $12,500. It'll also cost about 5% more to live on campus. Out-of-staters face a 6% hike, costing more than $21,000 to attend. Rutgers officials blame the hikes on a decrease in state aid.
The CBS Evening News is coming up at 6:30.
And Katie Kirk joins us now with a preview. Katie?
Hey, Dana and Chris. Well, it's day 2 of the cap, is still holding in the Gulf. So what is the next step? We'll have the very latest. Plus, our 4-month investigation first told you about the dangers of feeding antibiotics to healthy livestock. Now, Congress is actually taking action, and how the new face of Old Spice is really heating things up on the web. We'll have those stories and much more tonight, only on the CBS Evening News, right here on CBS 2 at 6:30. And by the way, Dana, I think that Michelle Miller really hated that Old Spice assignment that we gave her.
Poor thing, right? It's not our grandfather's cologne anymore.
Yeah, definitely not. And by the way, you look so pretty. I love that white dress. Very Jackie O.
Oh, thanks, Katie. Thank you.
And Chris, you look nice too.
20 years, Katie, for Dana here. 20 years.
I know. I participated in a little.
Thank you. I was in tears. They did a nice video for me here.
Oh, good.
It goes by like that. Chris grew up watching me, Katie.
Oh, does he tell you that?
in my crib. With my binky in my crib.
Congratulations, Dana.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Still ahead. I was older than that, I promise. Suburban residents hatch an idea to save and make some money on one family created a multi-million-dollar business in their own backyard. Ooh, always want to test that out first. No pain, no gain. Pop singer Pink falls off stage and lands right in the hospital.
Next at 6, a new terror report. New York a target again? Why the failed Christmas Day bomber over Detroit may not have been the only planned attack. Then, city parking rules changed. Now New Yorkers seeing red. Next at 6.
Do you take Jonathan to be your wedded husband and to cherish him forever and always? Forever, Catherine. Which is not the case with Chrysler. With Chrysler, you can try your car while they make your payments for 60 days before you decide. Not the case with Jonathan. We will not take him back in 60 days, so you better think about it. Jonathan will always be there, but the Chrysler regret-free purchase ends August 31st. Chrysler regret-free purchase?
I do.
Or instead, lease Town & Country Touring for $259 a month for well-qualified returning lessees.
Looking for a complete picture of your money? Meet PNC Virtual Wallet. It comes with a calendar that shows you all your finances at once. It lets you know when your money's going out and when it's coming in. It even tells you when you're running low. We call that Danger Days. It's built to help you see your money in a whole new light. Experience everything Virtual Wallet has to offer at pncvirtualwallet.com. PNC, for the achiever in us all.
Papa's in the house. Now, create your own Papa John's pizza for just $10. All pizzas, even our signature specialties, just $10. Order now at papajohns.com and get all large Papa John's pizzas for just $10 each.
I'm feeling really good about winning Take 5 today.
You should. All you need is me. Little bit of luck.
If she has a little bit of luck, what about me?
I'm gonna take you home.
Oh, wow.
Play Take 5 from the New York Lottery. All you need is a little bit of luck.
During the Honda clearance event, you can save on any Civic, the most durable, longest-lasting car in its class. These offers are the only thing from Honda that won't last. It's called the Knock.
Next Insider.
You know what kind of trouble I'm in.
Is Mel hiding his fortune?
I have to support you and everybody else. I have to sell paintings.
Plus, Mel selling his Malibu mansion. And what other celebrity homes are on the market? Then Kathy Griffin on Levi and Bristol's engagement.
I found out that Levi is going to marry her, or as I call her, that woman.
And Levi's makeover. Will this be his wedding tuxedo? Next Insider.
Tonight at 7, only on CBS 2 HD.
Well, a suburban couple hatching quite a business.
They got caught up in the backyard chicken craze, and now it's their career. CBS 2's Tony Aiello has the story.
The guy calling the chickens now has made chickens his calling.
Relax.
Derek Sasaki just left the corporate rat race to devote his career to chickens.
It started as a hobby for my wife and myself, and then it was a small side business while we worked full-time jobs.
Jobs which they've now left in order to run MyPetChicken.com. From their roost in suburban Connecticut, they provide information and supplies to the ever-growing number of urban and suburban chicken keepers. They built the business from scratch, and now it's taken in a lot more than chicken feed. Business is doubling every year. They'll gross $1 million this year, thanks to people like Melina Brown of Stamford.
It's what we call an addiction.
Her tentative foray into chicken keeping has grown into a flock of dozens, and she runs a chicken meetup group that regularly draws a crowd.
They're great pets, and they're fun. And once you have them, like any pet, you want to have all the accoutrements.
So in addition to chicks of every variety and coops of every size, the Sasaki's website sells chicken books, chicken treats, and what they call chickenalia, signs, tea towels, and other chicken tchotchkes. And of course, the chicken diaper, to keep the floor clean if you bring the bird from the coop to your house.
We do have people who want to keep indoor chickens full-time. I won't say that's the largest part of our users, but we definitely have some.
So yes, business is, in a word, excellent. The chicken craze feathering at least one family's financial nest. In Fairfield County, Connecticut, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
There are no solid statistics on the number of chicken owners, but one networking website says its membership has grown 500% in the last 2 years. The recession and the Eat Local movement get the credit for the chicken craze.
Gross over $1 million, huh? It's incredible.
Chicken diapers.
Wow.
The chicken diaper thing,
that's where they kind of lost you on that.
Take it a little bit over.
Leave them outside.
You've got a chicken coop at your apartment. How are you?
I do, yeah. Well, actually,
your neighbors are really
just
happy.
run wild in the house. It's a little dirty at times.
You live in a co-op too? I'm sure they love that.
Not a co-op, it's a coop.
Hey, let's. You got that one. Good. Let's talk about the weather. This pending heat wave. What's going on?
A lot of them go right over that one, Rags. I was on top of it. Hey, out we go. I got a great looking shot here for you. Sheepshead Bay. You're going to see some water activity. Tomorrow will be a water day as well. Check out this guy. Yeah, you got some trick skis going here. What is that? Wakeboard, right? Let's watch him. Come on, do a little trick for me here, partner. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Let's see. Take the wake. Take the wake. Is it going to do it? They tell me about 15 seconds in, this guy's going to get. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That was the payoff right there. Sun and clouds, 92 degrees right now. Winds are variable at 6 miles per hour. Guy actually had a great trick I was going to show you, but trust me on this one. Your high temp was 92 at 119 this afternoon. 84 should be the normal, so you're way above average. And I got to point this out. We continue to rest at that 92-degree reading here in the city, but take a look at what the temperature feels like. You factor in all that humidity, it feels like 97 in the city. It feels like 100 right now in Freehold. It's a little bit cooler if you head east out to Speonk, where it feels like 86, but if you want a little cooling feel to your air, Liberty would be the cool feels-like temperature of 78 degrees right now, at least the coolest I can find. Skies overhead, we do have a front that's passing through the area. Right now, heavy activity up around Ulster County, but that looks to want to stay in terms of the heaviest stuff well north of the city. But if I broaden the picture a bit, all right, here's the front, all right? There is a tail that's going to be pushing through our area, and as it does so, I put in a rain chance for tonight. You start up tomorrow with a nice sunny sky. It's still hot right through your day tomorrow, but because that front has now passed through, it's going to be less humid out there. Don't expect it to be sort of a relief, but it's just going to not be as tough as it was out there today. If you're heading to the beaches, and it is a beach day tomorrow, the Jersey Shore, Saturday it's 89 to 93, Sunday 90 to 94. Both days are beach days. There's a rain chance Saturday night, but the day should be okay. Saturday on Long Island, 88 to 92. Sunday, you're also in that 80 to lower 90-degree range. And then if you head up to the mountains for Saturday and Sunday, it's warmer still, 90 to 94 on Saturday, 90 to 94 also on Sunday. And again, late in the day on Saturday is when we start talking about a rain chance for you if you're heading to the mountains. Here is your 5-day forecast. The heat wave is on, okay? We hit 92 today. Tomorrow, 94. Sunday, you're 93. Monday, 93. Keep it going into Tuesday at 90 degrees. Now, Wednesday, we would officially, if these numbers hold true, and they are tending that way, we would drop out of the heat wave down to an 89-degree reading. But you're right there knocking on the door at 90. So it's possible, even into Wednesday, I see an 89-degree reading. So it's possible this thing could go on for a string of days into next week.
Got to be careful. All right.
You betcha. Drink your water, guys, yeah.
Right.
Actor George Clooney is attracting a crowd again in Italy, but this time the paparazzi is following Clooney's moves as he heads in and out of a court in Milan. Clooney is the star witness in the trial of 3 men accused of using his name to launch a fashion line. The actor had to make his way through a wall of reporters and stargazers. One fan was tossed from the courtroom for taking a picture.
Well, pop star Pink likely a little bit black and blue today. The singer was performing in Germany yesterday when she suited up for her high-flying act. A harness designed to lift her into the air. Instead, watch this, sent her, careening off the stage and into a barrier. Pink posted a message on Twitter saying she's seriously sore, but okay. She also joked, I hoped it at least looked cool.
Up next, it may intrigue you or outrage you, perhaps both. A new test that claims to predict the brain power of newborn babies. And later today at 6, residents in a Brooklyn neighborhood are seeing red over a street cleaning change. Now, the scramble in the heat to find parking spaces.
Check out tonight's primetime lineup on CBS 2, brought to you by North Shore LIJ. North Shore LIJ. Hope lives here.
Here at the Ford Model Year-End Sales Event, everybody's got a story, even the sales reps. Take Kelly, for instance. Kelly likes to call herself an escapist, which is kind of funny because she never seems to leave the dealership. She's always here talking about great deals and sync technology and how the Escape can practically park itself. Look, Kelly loves her Escape and loves her job. I just wish she'd get out more.
Get to the Ford Model Year End Sales Event and lease an Escape for just $239 a month for 24 months. Just $239 a month.
So many stories, so little time. You really should drive one.
Saturday morning, bright ships, summer sun, and smiling kids inside a local event setting sail for a stellar cause. Then, the George Stein printer you never knew, Remembering the Boss. Plus your exclusive forecast from CBS 2, Saturday starting 6 a.m.
Attention furniture shoppers. The Lazy Boy Inventory Overstock Sell-Off is going on now. $5 million of national inventory. Factory direct overstocks will be sold at rock-bottom prices to make room for new merchandise. Markdowns on a huge selection of recliners, sofas, sectionals, chairs, tables, and more. Financing is available. This furniture at these prices won't last long. The Lazy Boy Inventory Overstock Sell-Off. On now, only at the Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Don't miss it.
Ooh la la! It's ShopRite Summertime Can Sale.
Now, summertime for Can. ShopRite saves you more on everything in cans. Today it's great to save some cash. So come to ShopRite's Can Bash.
It's summer Can time, and you'll save on assorted Chef Boyardee, Healthy Choice, Gouldens, Rotel, or Hunt's family favorites. Just 88 cents each with your card.
Shop and save for our summer Can Bash.
It's hot, hot, hot. Oh, oh, oh.
When you put everything you've got into it, have the accolades to prove it, the only thing left to do is share it. The Ram Tint Event. Drive one without a payment for 60 days. And if it doesn't do everything you ask it to do, bring it back. Ram.
Or in lieu of 60-day offers, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash on Ram 1500.
This is gonna be good.
Go!
It is great, isn't it?
Eyes are going to be on every move we make.
They already are.
Every penny counts, no matter how the economy is. So CBS 2 is watching your money. Cash saving tips, reducing debt, your job. CBS 2, your money watch.
Newborns may look like they don't have a care in the world when they're sleeping, but a new study proves they're actually working very hard, learning. And as CBS 2's Dr. Holly Phillips explains, the findings could help with the early diagnosis of developmental problems.
At just a day and a half old, little Kurt's parents think he's already a brilliant baby.
You got your first EEG on the second day of your life.
Now a new study conducted at the hospital where Kurt was born may confirm mom and dad's suspicions that their baby is a genius.
We're monitoring the brain waves as the baby is learning.
The study is putting newborns to the test. It's the brainchild of Columbia University researcher Dr. William Pfeiffer, an expert in neurodevelopment. He's trying to determine how much newborns absorb from their surroundings, even though they sleep 90% of the time.
We think this is important because, one, it's a reflection of what a baby's brain is doing, really how it works to begin to understand this new world and all the various changes that are going to happen every minute.
Here's what they do with the babies. First, the team hooks the infant up to a device called an EEG, which measures electrical activity in the brain. Then they place these little speakers that play this tone next to the baby's ears. The tone is followed by a little puff of air from this machine, which causes the baby to wince. As the sequence is repeated, Pfeiffer says something amazing happens.
Before you know it, the baby starts blinking to the tone. That is that signal that's predicting this puff of air.
Essentially, the babies are learning the acts of anticipation and reaction, says Pfeiffer. While this is going on, the EEG clearly shows activity in the prefrontal cortex. Researchers say that means the baby is already using his or her memory.
This is about those survival reflexes that have to be shaped in order to accommodate to this ever-changing environment, whether you're awake or asleep.
If a newborn doesn't exhibit these learning skills, Pfeiffer says the results are even more telling.
It could be part of a larger profile of babies' abilities, particularly brain abilities, that can be used for early diagnosis of later neurodevelopmental disorders.
In other words, the test can predict disorders like dyslexia and autism.
Some experts say the research on infants shows us there may be more levels of consciousness than we understand.
Dr. Holly Phillips for CBS 2 News.
If you're wondering about older children and adults, researchers say it's still unknown whether this quality is unique to just infants. And that's going to do it for us at 5. For Dr. Holly Phillips, Lonnie, and the entire CBS 2 News team, thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Wragge. The news at 6 starts right now.
You're watching CBS 2 News in high definition.
The whole building like shook. I thought we were having an earthquake.
Right now at 6, a parking garage collapses at a Hackensack apartment building, and tonight, at least one person is trapped under the rubble. What caused the concrete to come crashing down?
A developing story. The accused Christmas Day bomber may not have been alone. A revealing report on terrorists possibly targeting New York City restaurants.
And then a dangerous confrontation. A routine traffic stop takes a terrifying turn when a police officer faces off with an ex-con. Good evening, I'm Dana Tyler.
And I'm Don Dahler. There was no warning. A parking garage suddenly collapses in New Jersey, trapping at least one and forcing hundreds out of their homes.
Here's a look at what the exterior of the high-rise condo in Hackensack looked like before the collapse. A glass canopy covered the half-circle driveway.
Now, this is what's left of it. Crumbled pavement, dirt, debris, and shattered glass everywhere. We have live team coverage. CBS 2's Sean Hennessy has the latest in the investigation, but we're going to begin with CBS 2's Kristen Cole. Kristen.
Yeah, Don and Dana, it has been 8 long, hot, excruciating hours for the victims trapped inside this rubble. One person positively.
At the same time, sometimes I feel like an urban explorer or a
underground, but there is a second vehicle trapped at the deepest levels of this crater, and there are an unknown number of victims inside.
I'm thinking for a second, I'm like, is the building coming down?
New dad Damian Kazazian describes the terrifying moments when he tried to protect his baby Gabriella from what he thought was a building collapse.
It was a boom, boom, like it was almost, I grabbed her to cover her.
The collapse of a large glass portico 3 stories high crushed the parking garage below it, 300 Prospect Avenue in Hackensack, pancaking 3 floors of the garage and trapping what's believed to be multiple victims.
We've identified one vehicle, 1 floor down below, with 1 trapped occupant. We were able to do this by a remote camera. We also found another car that's in the lowest level. We haven't gotten to that vehicle yet.
Upwards of 500 residents live in the 15-floor building and were shocked at the 60 by 100-foot crater.
I went out to the lobby, and about 20 feet down, there was a pile of just debris and crumbled cars. And then the fire alarm started going off.
I really hope they weren't playing roulette with our safety.
Rachel Laval was shaken after escaping the collapse by just moments as she tried to drive out of the garage.
I parked the car and ran up the cement stairway, and then I started having a panic attack.
For now, hundreds of rescuers are using heavy equipment to remove debris and shore up the collapse area to get at victims trapped below, knowing time is running out as they race against extreme heat. And while the primary focus is still on the search and rescue operation, there are some 500 residents tonight who are going to be out of their homes throughout the weekend. They're trying to figure out where they're going to stay, how they're going to take care of their children and their pets, and how they can go on with their lives. In Hackensack, I'm Kirsten Cole, CBS 2 News.
Kirsten, thank you. So just what caused the concrete to come crashing down? A lot of residents say it was an accident waiting to happen. CBS 2's Sean Hennessy, also live in Hackensack with the latest on the investigation. Sean?
Dana, investigators say it could have been a number of factors that caused this garage to partially pancake, including a deteriorating structure and the foundation around it. Factors in play, residents say, for months. Residents say the genesis of today's disaster may be an unsolved leak and the holes dug up months ago by building management trying to find it.
You know, a pipe broke and they would look, and then finally they dug a hole to find where it was. But never, you know, that was it.
The problem, they say, was that the holes were never plugged, just covered up with steel plates while the leak continued.
This morning when I drove out, a little late for where I had to get to go, I looked up and I saw the ceiling seemed to be wetter than usual. I go, oh, that doesn't look good, does it? You know, and bingo.
Tonight, Hackensack city leaders say they're not aware of the residential complaints or of the holes.
No one has reported that to us.
But Sam Davis, a lawyer for the residents, says it was common knowledge.
They left these holes uncovered or not covered in a watertight manner for upwards of 3 months.
Davis points to the holes that he says were right in front of the building and says they were the straw that broke the camel's back.
I believe they were a factor in causing this garage to collapse, together with this tremendous downpour, supersaturated soil.
Tonight, the building inspector said the building's management wouldn't have to notify the city if it were digging holes to find a leak, and that the holes may have been a possible factor.
Just from the last several rainstorms that we've had, it would indicate that heavy deluge of rain and a possible leak that's been going on for the last couple of weeks, that could contribute to the collapse.
Now, this structure is owned by ERP operating out of Chicago. So far, that entity has not answered any of our questions regarding the leak or the efforts to try to find it and fix it. But at some point, they will have to answer questions when the State Department of Environmental Management begins its investigation into what happened here. We're live in Hackensack tonight. Sean Hennessy, CBS 2 News.
And stay with CBS 2 News for continuing coverage of this underground garage collapse. We'll have much more on the building's inspection record and what may have gone wrong, as well as the search for whoever is in the building under those pancaked floors. Tonight, CBS 2 News at 11.
And now to a developing story. The so-called underwear bomber apparently isn't the only terrorist who wanted to stage a Christmas Day attack in the United States last year. Another plot targeting nightclubs and restaurants in New York City was also reportedly in the works. CBS 2's political reporter Marcia Kramer joins us live from the newsroom with more on this. Marcia.
Well, Don, sources tell me there is no connection between the airplane passenger who botched an attempt to ignite a bomb in his underwear and another plot to spread terror here in New York City. The only thing they have in common is the date, Christmas Day, 2009. The first hint that New York City was yet again eyed as a terror target surfaced in an FBI report 3 weeks before Christmas. Sources say it warned that an unidentified extremist group wanted to strike during the holiday and was planning a test run, apparently planning to hide bomb components in a shipment of cat, a plant that is chewed like tobacco in African and Arabian nations. According to a report written by an FBI official in London, the extremists allegedly planned to smuggle unknown components of an unspecified explosive device onto a cargo flight departing Nairobi, Kenya on December 4th, with a final destination of London, England. From there, a British Muslim was supposed to get the bomb onto another flight to New York City. According to the report, the intention wasn't to blow up a plane, but to attack various New York City targets, possibly restaurants and nightclubs. The New York contact was identified as a Somali man, identified only as Muhammad. Now, law enforcement sources tell me they are unsure how reliable the informant was. It was washed out over there, said one official. We never had to scramble to deal with it here. Authorities worry about possible attacks from Somalia, an al-Qaeda stronghold. Live in the newsroom, I'm Marcia Kramer, CBS 2 News.
The driver of the car that crashed, killing 3 camp counselors on Long Island yesterday, is out of the hospital tonight. 20-year-old Justine Mulhall was driving on the Meadowbrook Parkway when her car with 4 passengers crashed into a tree. 19-year-old Paige Malone, her older sister Jamie, and the driver's brother, 22-year-old Michael Mulhall, were killed. Another passenger, 20-year-old Kelly Murphy, remains in critical but stable condition.
A Long Island pediatrician is behind bars, accused of taking advantage of some of his patients. Prosecutors say Dr. Rakesh Pun admitted to secretly recording and sexually violating at least 9 patients. Police raided his Bethpage home office and found at least 5 taped incidents where female patients were fondled under the pretext of a medical exam. The patients were between the ages of 11 and 24. Prosecutors believe there may be more victims.
Tonight, trusted doctors and nurses, dozens of them, are accused of stealing $250 million from taxpayers. CBS 2's John Metaxas tells us about the largest Medicare fraud bust ever.
The government says these are just some of the faces of Medicare fraud. Yefim Drockler and Yevgeny Gil emerged from their arraignment in Brooklyn federal court this afternoon after being caught up in the largest Medicare fraud bust ever. Hundreds of federal agents raided locations in 5 cities, arresting dozens in alleged scams costing the Medicare system more than $250 million.
Here in Brooklyn, 22 individuals are charged with fraudulently bilking the American taxpayers of approximately $78 million.
And that angered people outside one of the clinics involved.
It's bad because we got to pay for it, the taxpayers.
It's coming from our pocket if it's an abuse of Medicare.
One of the schemes allegedly took place here at 8686 Bay Parkway in Bensonhurst. According to the indictment, defendants set up a kickback room here and paid patients to receive unnecessary medical services. The so-called kickback room even had an apparent Soviet-era poster with the words "Ne boltai," Russian for "don't gossip." But many caught up in the scheme were relatively small fish. fish allegedly paid just hundreds of dollars each to falsify hundreds of thousands each in claims that involved even doctors.
To the extent that these defendants thought that by submitting smaller claims but in large amounts, they would stay under the radar of law enforcement, those days are gone.
The feds even used a hidden camera to record the illegal payments. John Metaxas, CBS 2 News.
Cleaning up an estimated $60 to $90 billion a year in Medicaid fraud will be key to paying for President Obama's health care overhaul.
Coming up, a routine traffic stop explodes into a frantic life-or-death struggle in Albany, a police officer's harrowing confrontation. Then residents in a Brooklyn neighborhood are seeing red over a street cleaning change. Now the scramble in this hot weather for a parking spot.
It's expected to be an emotional night here in the Bronx as the Yankees pay tribute to the boss, George Steinbrenner, and PA announcer Bob Shepard. Coming up later in sports, I'll be joined by a man who knew them both very well, GM Brian Cashman.
This is gonna be good. Go!
It is great, isn't it?
Good evening, I'm Christine Johnson.
And I'm Chris Wragge. Here's what's happening.
Do you take Jonathan to be your wedded husband and to cherish him forever and always? Forever, Catherine. Which is not the case with Chrysler. With Chrysler, you can try your car while they make your payments for 60 days before you decide. Not the case with Jonathan. We will not take him back in 60 days, so you better think about it. Jonathan will always be there, but the Chrysler regret-free purchase ends August 31st. Chrysler regret-free purchase?
I do.
Or instead, lease Town & Country Touring for $259 a month for well-qualified returning lessees.
It'll pay to be an early riser this Saturday for Kohl's Super Saturday, where she'll rush in for extra savings on over 100 early bird specials, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. only. She'll get 50 to 60% off Missy sportswear, an extra 15% off fine and sterling silver jewelry, already 55 to 60% off, and your choice $39.99 kitchen electrics. So hurry in this Saturday for Kohl's Super Saturday starting at 7 a.m. Set your alarm for super savings. Kohl's, expect great things.
From Jennifer, a bonded leather chaise sectional for an amazing $6.99, plus a free cocktail ottoman, $6.99. No one else offers this kind of value, only Jennifer. You don't have to spend a lot to have good taste.
Aching for steak and bacon? Try the Subway Steak and Bacon Melt and build your better breakfast with the new Steak and Bacon Muffin Melt with, oh yeah, bacon. Crank up the flavor at Subway.
My Toyota has 180,000 miles on it.
190,000 miles.
267,491 miles on it.
My Toyota has 464,000 miles.
While a Toyota may last a long time, the amazing deals and great selection won't during Toyota's National Clearance Event. Lease a 2010 Corolla for $149 a month, or get 0% financing for 60 months, or 0% financing on a 2010 Prius or a $179 a month lease. Toyota, durability to move you forward.
The oil disaster in the Gulf, an environmental tragedy. Animals are suffering. Life will never be the same, and they need our help. Please go to saveourgulf.org and find out how you can lend a hand in the recovery today.
Good luck finding a spot in parts of Brooklyn tonight where residents are fuming over a street cleaning rule change.
It has them scrambling for parking spots far from their home. CBS 2's Jay Dow reports from Greenwood Heights.
The parking situation along 20th Street in Greenwood Heights, Brooklyn was never a driver's dream. But yesterday, state transportation officials extended traditional 90-minute street cleaning rules. So now, for the next 35 days in the middle of summer, drivers are barred from any weekday parking on the right side of the street for 12 hours a day.
I've been here for 30 years, and this is the first time that this is happening.
State DOT officials say the new rules are designed to offset construction-related delays on the nearby Prospect Parkway, but that doesn't help Joey Trinidad.
So here you are up at 7:50 in the morning on a Friday looking for a parking spot.
Yes, and I don't know what to do.
And while transportation officials say they notified residents, they tell us they didn't get any notification, adding the local community board was also left in the dark.
Signs were changed, people went to work, came home, and found they couldn't park on their street.
It's difficult already to find a spot on the block. I can't afford, $200 or $300 per month to park my car in a lot. I managed to find a spot this morning about 10 blocks away from here.
If residents are this outraged on day 2 of the new rules, imagine what's going to happen next Wednesday, when street cleaning rules will be in effect and no parking will be available on this stretch of 20th Street.
Where are you going to park at the meter? What are you going to do? You're going to forget, then you're going to get hit with a ticket. Is that what it's all about, to make more money?
What's certain is the construction-related change is going to cost anyone who parks along this stretch of 20th Street time and money this summer. In Brooklyn, Jay Dow, CBS 2 News.
Several residents tell CBS 2 they had to park so far away today they considered taking a taxi back
That's
home.
really far. Still ahead tonight, a dangerous confrontation. A routine traffic stop takes a terrifying turn when a police officer faces off with an ex-con.
And you felt the big-time heat today. There is a cold front approaching our area, but it's just not going to cool the temperatures off. How long is the heat in place? My forecast comes up after the break.
Donate your junk? Don't just throw it all away. We'll show you how you can turn your personal garbage into dollars. And that's not all. You'll be helping others while making money. Clean out and cash in. Tonight on CBS 2 News at 11.
Here's another story from the Ford Model Year-End Sales event. Dan's a bit of a know-it-all, but here's something he just found out. The 2010 Fusion is projected to hold its value better than the 2010 Camry.
Hurry and lease a Ford Fusion for just $189 a month for 24 months.
I'll make a brand new start.
Come Fly Away, Broadway's new smash hit musical. Dance by Twyla Tharp, vocals by Frank Sinatra.
Make it there, I'll make it anywhere.
The New York Times calls it an electrifying celebration of Frank Sinatra. The one show in New York City you cannot miss. Come Fly Away. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
Papa's in the house. Now, create your own Papa John's pizza for just $10. All pizzas, even our signature specialties, just $10. Order now at papajohns.com and get all large Papa John's pizzas for just $10 each.
Now is the time to get out there. Because at Jeep, we pledge to give you adventure. We pledge to show you more. We pledge to bring freedom within reach. And with our Pledge Plus program, we'll make your payments for 60 days when you finance a 2010 Liberty, Compass, or Patriot. And if you change your mind, then we'll take it back. Or in lieu of 60-day offers, lease Jeep Liberty Sport for $249 a month for well-qualified returning Chrysler lessees. I live, I ride, I am. Jeep.
Did you know 1 out of every 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer?
Let's run it out of town. On Sunday, September 12th, save the date and help CBS 2 celebrate 20 years of the Komen, New York City Race for the Cure.
Register now at WCBS-TV.com.
My space could sure use a facelift. You know, a nip here, a tuck there, but on a budget.
You can give your home a new look with Raymore and Flanagan's Room for Improvement sale. Entertain guests with a new dining room set. Enjoy time with friends in your new living room with brands like Bernhardt, Natuzzi, Cindy Crawford Home, and Bella Nest, all on sale. No money down, no interest till 2014. Delivered in 3 days or less. The Room for Improvement sale, only at Raymore and Flanagan.
Hey, good news here at the Ford Model Year-End Sales event. Greg and Shelley are having a baby, which is probably why they're checking out the Ford Edge. Edge has great fuel economy and plenty of room for a new family to grow into.
Hurry and lease a Ford Edge for just $269 a month for 24 months.
Delicious and all under $25. Cheap Eats NYC, Sunday morning.
Newly released video shows how a routine traffic stop exploded into a frenetic life-or-death struggle in Albany. Look. An armed parolee was killed while trying to run down an officer after fleeing a traffic stop. You can see the snow. This is back in February. Police say one of the 2 officers spotted a gun inside the car. As the 37-year-old suspect sped away, an officer opened fire at the car, shooting the man 7 times. Neither officer was hurt.
Wow. That, oh my goodness. You know, and you know that kind of thing happens all the time. You don't have video of it, so. Wow.
Scary.
All right, very, very hot outside. Gonna get hotter all weekend long. That's the headline, so you don't need to talk to Lonnie. No, okay, just kidding.
You know, it started today, guys, as we broke the 90-degree mark, and it looks like it's going to continue. I see like a span of about 5 days we're going to deal with this kind of heat. Now, take a look at that shot right there, huh? Groundskeepers are out getting ready for the big game tonight. Will the weather play a factor in that game? You could have a passing shower, but it looks like the heavy activity stays north of the city, and I think we get that game in. Current readings outside, you're still sitting at 90 degrees under a sun and cloud mix overhead. Winds are variable at 6 miles per hour. 90 degrees right now. Well, your high temperature today, it was warmer than that. Taking a look at the almanac, you hit 92 at 1:19 in the afternoon. But you take that 92, okay, you mix in the humidity, which was way up there. 92, 58% relative humidity. It felt, all right, around 1 o'clock this afternoon, it felt like 103 degrees in New York City. What's going to happen tomorrow, we're going to have this cold front pass through the area. Now, I just talked about how there's some storms out there well north of the city. It's Ulster and Dutchess County catching the lightning and the thunderstorms right now. Well, that's going to stay to the north of us. The rest of the area will be catching just a passing shower. You watch all the energy just being sapped out of this line. Watch the bright colors, the lightning fade away, fade away, fade away. Just now starting to trickle into our area. It's just not going to be holding itself together. Yeah, there's a chance, just not a big chance. All right, what happens as this front passes, though, we're going to still have the heat behind it. It's a cold front, but you just don't get a cooling effect. Temperatures will still be mid-90s tomorrow. This is New York City's forecast, 94 degrees, but thank you, Mr. Cold Front. It pushes through. Humidities drop down to 30% tomorrow. So 94 with that 30% humidity, it's actually going to feel, if you can tell, a degree cooler tomorrow. It'll feel about 93. I'm telling everybody to hit the beach. Skies overhead will be beautiful during the daytime hours. That sun has really been heating the waters up. The Jersey Shore water is right now running at 77 degrees. Long Island Sound water temp 71. The Hamptons 75 degrees. So that certainly isn't frigid northeast water. Enjoy your time at the beach tomorrow. A quick line of spotty showers and storms will push through the area tonight. 77 degrees, your overnight low. Again, the storms look to stay well north of the city. Then for your day tomorrow, we're going to pump that temperature way up to 94 degrees. Mostly sunny, still hot, but less humid. And then if you take a look at the 5-day forecast, look at the string of 90-plus days out there. I mean, right there on the board, you're looking at 93 Sunday, 93 on Monday, and it's going to continue to Wednesday.
Summertime.
Maybe you're out of it a little bit by Wednesday.
Thanks, Don.
Okay, guys.
Sorry, I mean Lonnie.
You're welcome. Well, like Lonnie said, the heat is on. After all, it is summertime in the city. When it's hot, it's all about keeping cool no matter what. No one's done that better over the last couple of decades than Dana Tyler. Today, we're celebrating 20 years of her amazing career at CBS 2.
I'm Dana Tyler. I'm Dana Tyler. I'm Dana Tyler. Dana Tyler, Channel 2 News.
Dana Tyler has been a constant and reassuring presence to the CBS 2 News audience since she joined the station as a weekend co-anchor and reporter in July of 1990. 1990 was also the year Dana and the late Reggie Harris became the first African-American anchor team in New York. In the great tradition of local news anchors, Dana is the gold standard, an award-winning anchor with the right touch.
We're here for you. We'll all get through this together.
Throughout events that have shaped these times, her calm, steady voice remains part of the fabric of our city and our station.
Everyone was off the plane safely and accounted for. I'm Dana Tyler, live in the nation's capital on this historic day.
Dana Tyler clearly loves New York City, and the feeling is mutual.
Remarkable reporter and anchor.
20 years has been kinder to you than it's been to me.
She gets younger every year, and I get older. What's the secret?
Dana has given us a greater appreciation of fine arts with an insider's view of some memorable exhibitions. She's also been a tireless champion of Broadway, taking us on stage and behind the curtain of hundreds of shows.
As much as you love us, we want you to know we love you more.
And she's had some impressive red carpet and fairy tale moments.
What did she say, Hubble? How is she?
So what are you doing later?
Of course, working alongside a pro like Dana brings out the best in all of us. Putting 20 years of television expertise in just a few minutes only scratches the surface of the many stories that she's reported. But this one is a standout.
Hello, Holy Father. He just shook my hand, and now he's continuing on down. How has your trip been?
Very nice. Very nice.
Dana sounds like an emotional moment.
I'm telling you,
too.
it stopped my heart. I have to tell you, it is something I will never forget for the rest of my life.
So, congratulations, Dana, on 20 years of a job so very well done.
You know, this is a great job. It is a great job.
So where are you hiding your portrait of Dorian Gray? Because you look the same today as you did the first day you walked into the station.
No,
hair's different.
A lot of hair and a lot of unplucked eyebrows, I'll say, during all of that. Well, thank you to my coworkers, Kathy, Steph, and Adam, who put that together, and all of my coworkers here on both sides, from the day I walked in the door, both sides of the camera. Reggie and Jim Jensen, Michelle and Carol, I could name, and directors in the control room and the stage crews here and everybody, you know.
You're just
but no, it's just, I don't do this alone, and I love it. I'm not going anywhere.
But I will say, one of the amazing things about an accomplishment here is more than you stayed at one station when so many people move around this business. You've kept your passion for what we do here, and that is what drives you.
I love it.
And that's what everybody really appreciates.
I love it. And it's an honor. I'm privileged to be in your living rooms, and thank you to the viewers who've been so good to us. We all appreciate it here at Channel 2.
Bravo,
thank you.
Dana.
Thank you for letting me stay for 20 years.
And we all appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Don.
Still ahead, Otis Livingston joins us live from Yankee Stadium with sports.
Just minutes away. Is there a connection? The release of the Lockerbie bomber, BP getting access to Libyan oil. Plus, we first told you about the dangers of antibiotics. Now Congress is taking action. Coming up on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Mr. Opportunity. You doing the Honda thing again?
Yeah, clearance time, you know, your chance to save on the reliable Honda Accord. That's all I've got to say.
One over here, please. Wow, you really are Mr. Opportunity.
The 2010 Honda clearance. It's the only thing from Honda that won't last. For special clearance offers, see your Honda dealer.
Natalie is the last one to leave home. But not a moment too soon, right?
Howard and Linda were saving for Natalie's college since she was born.
She's going to need a lot of stuff. Those everyday things we didn't plan on.
So we showed them how Wachovia's Way to Save program could help. Every time they swipe their check card to make a purchase, $1 is automatically transferred from their checking account to their savings account.
My bedroom is going to be turned into an office for them. That's what I'm giving back to them.
With you when it's time to save. Wachovia, a Wells Fargo company.
Attention furniture shoppers. The Lazy Boy inventory overstock sell-off is going on now. $5 million of factory direct overstocks will be sold at rock bottom prices. On now, only at the Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Don't miss it.
Is Mel hiding his fortune? Next Insider.
Get new flooring for every room of your house during Empire's Whole House sale. Buy 2 rooms of flooring and get the rest of your rooms free. Cha-ching! Shop at home for leading brands like Armstrong and Shaw. Get professional installation even next day. Buy 2 rooms, get the rest free with no interest for a year. Hurry! Our whole house sale won't last long. Buy 2 rooms, get the rest free.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. It's summer can time, and ShopRite vegetables 12 for just $4.99.
Now's the time to stock up while the values last.
It's hot, hot, hot. Oh.
Right now at the Dodge 10 event, when you buy a new Charger, Journey, or Grand Caravan, Dodge will give you 60 days to decide if you want to keep it. They'll even cover your payments. This event could not be more amazing. Oh, wait, there's a monkey. I stand corrected.
Or in lieu of 60-day offers, get 0% APR financing for 60 months plus $500 bonus cash on Grand Caravan.
Bright ships, smiling kids. How you can set sail for a stellar cause. Saturday, 6 a.m.
We want to take you straight to Yankee Stadium. Otis is there with your CBS 2 WFAN Sports Report. Otis.
That's right, Don. It should be an emotional night here in the Bronx as a very trying week for the Yankees culminates with the honoring of 2 of their icons, the boss, George Steinbrenner, and PA announcer Bob Shepard. Shepard passed away on Sunday, the boss on Tuesday morning, and there were plenty of wreaths placed around the boss's statue in the executive lobby, another on Bob Shepard's plaque in Monument Park. There will be a moment of silence and a video tribute to Steinbrenner beginning in about 15 minutes. As far as the uniforms, there will be special patches on the familiar pinstripes, a GMS patch above the interlocking NY on the chest, and a microphone on a baseball diamond on the left sleeve in honor of Shepard, who was the voice of the Yankees for nearly 60 years. And it's a pleasure being joined right now by a guy who's known both of these guys for quite a long time, GM Brian Cashman. And Brian, you said that the boss made you what you are today, that you wouldn't be where you are? What effect did he have on you?
Well, working for him in the environment that he created, nothing but work ethic, preparation, dedication. He brought that military background and the football background, and brought it to reality here. And if you really couldn't keep up, you couldn't stay long. And so he brought a lot of discipline and structure to at least my life, and everything I am today is because of what I learned from him.
You also said that there was only one person that intimidated the boss, and that was Bob Sheppard, because the boss searched for perfection, and Bob Sheppard was perfect.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, the boss, demanded perfection in an imperfect world, and you really didn't know what to make of Bob because Bob was already perfect. I mean, so he never had a problem with Bob Sheppard that I could ever I was ever aware of, and rightfully so, because Bob had better work ethic than anybody. He was prepared at all times, and he was excellent at what he did, and so we were blessed to have his presence here for as long as we did.
You were also quoted as saying that you were the most nervous you've ever been speaking at his funeral.
Yeah, because you know what? Because I'm used to public speaking, and it's something that comes easy. But when you're eulogizing someone like Bob Sheppard, who had such speech was so important, the English language, grammar was so important. All of a sudden that's intimidating because you want to do right by Bob and his family, but at the same time now you're really trying to articulate the words properly and say them properly, and so I don't know, I felt that I added a lot more pressure, but I kept talking to myself, Bob would be saying right now, relax, you're doing fine, relax, you're doing fine.
And I'm sure you did a great job. Of course, the second half starts tonight. Tampa Ray's in town. You lead them by 2 games, so of course the boss would say, let's go get them in the second half.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. All right, reporting live from Yankee Stadium, Otis Livingston, CBS 2 News.
Thanks a lot, Otis.
Let's see what's coming up tonight at 11. Chris Wragge in the newsroom with a preview. Chris?
Dana, thank you. Coming up later on tonight, our coverage in Hackensack continues as rescuers work frantically to reach at least one person trapped in the rubble after a garage collapse. We'll have live continuing team coverage. Plus, have a lot of junk around your house? Don't just throw it all away. We're going to show you how you can turn your personal garbage into some big bucks. We got those stories and much more coming up tonight at 11. Don, Dana?
Thanks, Chris.
That's CBS 2 News at 6. I'm Don Dahler.
I'm Dana Tyler. Up next on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric, a follow-up investigation into the possible dangers of antibiotics in our food.
Have a great night and a great weekend.
Stay cool.
Stay cool.
You've been watching CBS 2 News in high definition.